Well, if you ever travel to Miami, you may wonder, where can I get the best Cuban food? More often than not, the response you're going to get from Miami diehards is Versailles. And while the food there is delicious, the significance of this decades-old restaurant goes far beyond the cuisine and directly to the heart of Cuban culture. ABC's Victor Oquendo takes us to the iconic restaurant as it celebrates its 50th anniversary.
For half a century, the Versailles restaurant in Miami has provided Cuban exiles many of the freedoms the Castro regime stripped them of. But for the Valls family, this relic that touts being the most famous Cuban restaurant in the world is also home.
So, how much time have you guys spent at this window?
Many hours.
The window, La Ventanita in Spanish, is where many have a cafecito and discuss politics at the famous Cuban restaurant Café Versailles. Named after the palace in France, it's located in the heart of Little Havana in Miami.
Versailles or Versailles?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, Versailles obviously is the correct pronunciation, but all Cubans call it Versailles because they just simply pronounce it in Spanish with the double L as a J. A peculiar name for a Cuban restaurant, no doubt.
Versailles opened in 1971 by Felipe Valls Sr., who left Cuba for the U.S. And today, the family tradition continues, with his son, Felipe Jr., and his granddaughters now running the iconic restaurant.
I'm born and raised in Miami. My grandmother, Abuela, lived 3 blocks away from here, so I have plenty of memories, but you literally grew up here. So what do you remember being around this restaurant, the kitchen, La Ventanita, being so young?
It was a really cool experience because we would come after school with my mom and all my sisters almost every day to have lunch with my dad.
Popular with locals and tourists, with its decor of etched mirrors and chandeliers, and its Cuban coffee and croquetas. Over its 50 years, the restaurant has hosted politicians running for office to celebrities.
It is so much more than a restaurant. So how do you describe what Versailles is?
It's tough. It really is something odd that a restaurant be so world-renowned, so politically connected, so connected to the island of Cuba and to all things Miami. Like, you know, here you come on a Saturday night, you see guys in tuxedos and gowns, and you see guys in flip-flops and tangas sometimes. But through the years, just the fact that we've been here and it's very Cuban.
And it's not just about inside the restaurant, but what happens outside in the parking lot and adjacent streets. From celebrations like the Florida Marlins' 1997 World Series victory and the Miami Heat Finals win in 2013, to the thousands who protest and chant for freedom in Cuba.
How do you describe what the parking lot will look like on one of those days where someone's either celebrating or protesting? What does it look like out here?
It's a controlled mayhem is what it is.
In 1999, the controversy over whether Elian Gonzalez should be returned to Cuba. And in 2016, thousands gathered over the death of Fidel Castro.
When Fidel Castro died, that day in particular, I remember going up to the rooftop and looking down, and you couldn't even see streets. It was just a multitude of people, sea of people with flags, dancing, pots and pans. And I remember getting really emotional and teary-eyed thinking, wow, like this is where the whole Cuban American community came for this momentous occasion, and it's at my home.
This past summer, with some of the largest protests in Cuba in decades, Versailles, again, at the center of it all.
Was it so important for you guys to have that freedom of speech right here at the restaurant, given what your family left in Cuba?
Well, you know, we've always tried to maintain Versailles neutral and accessible to any party and any politician. When politicians have made a habit of using it as a stop, to using it to promote it, to show that they're with the Cuban community, with the Latino community. A lot of press has come through Versailles, but it won't work if when you get here, the service and the food isn't up to par.
Versailles, 5 decades of politics, Cuban food, and family that makes this restaurant the heart and soul of Miami.
I think it goes to show like the American dream is alive, and if you work hard and obviously you have a little bit of luck, you'll be able to make it and do great things.
Victor Oquendo, ABC News, in Miami's Little Havana neighborhood.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.